Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm Janet, and welcome to my channel, where I hope to inspire you to create a home and a life you love. Well, one of the things that I really love is going to estate sales. So today I thought I would share with you my latest estate sale haul on the table behind me here, but more importantly, give you some tips on how to determine value of those items you find at estate sales, the flea market, antiquing, or even your local thrift store, so you don't overpay for those special treasures that you're planning to buy and bring home with you. So let's get started. Before we dive into my estate sale haul, and even before I give you the tips on how I determine value of my little treasures, I thought I'd talk a little bit about market value in general, because determining market value with antiques or collectibles really is not that different than determining market value with anything else. So for example, there is always a list price and an actual purchase price. So for example, when you go to buy a house, the house could be listed for $500,000. Now, the buyers may pay that price or even more, but typically the purchaser, the buyer, is going to offer less. So maybe they write an offer for $479, and maybe there's some negotiation, then there's an end price, maybe you agree at $489. So that then becomes the market value of that particular house. So the consumer, the buyer, determines the market value, not the seller or the person listing the house. Well, it's the same thing with antiques and collectibles. So just like in real estate, we can do a market analysis to see houses in a specific neighborhood that are all the same size, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, whatever. They're selling for a certain amount. So there's an average sale price or a market value in real estate when you're buying a house. Well, the same holds true with antiques, collectibles, and really anything. And the way that I determine that is by using one of many online platforms. So for this example, I'm just going to use eBay because it's free. There are other online resources that you can use to determine value. There are auction sites and there's paid websites where you can look up the actual value of different items. But eBay is free and it's easy to use for anyone. So I'm going to share with you what I do on eBay to help determine the market value. So when you're on eBay, you can look up a specific item. So if you know exactly what the item is, like you can type it into the search on eBay. For example, blue transferware pitcher. If you don't know the make, sometimes at the bottom has a stamp on it, and that could be where the product was made, or it can be the line in a particular piece of china, for example. So this is Tintern, and it's made in England, and that's listed on the bottom. So you can type those things into the search on eBay with the description of the item. So the more that you look at an item, the more that you inspect it, the size, you can put in any of those details to try to find it on eBay. And then what are you going to find? All these listings are going to pop up, and those are everything that's available that are the same or similar that are currently listed on eBay. Well, just like when you're buying a house, that's just the list price. That's not the value. That doesn't mean anyone is going to pay that price, whether it's a buy now price that could be reduced later or an auction price that could either go up or down later. So what you want to do is look at sold listings just like we do with houses. We do a comparative market analysis to see what the houses in that neighborhood have been selling for that are similar or comparable houses. Well, it's the same thing with our items that we get either on eBay or at estate sales or auctions. So on eBay, if you look at the top right, there's a filter, and you can filter and sort by what has been sold. That's that particular item. So when you click that, then all of the sold listings will show up, and those are the actual comparables that you want to look at. So this item might have been listed for, let's just say it's listed for $30 on eBay, but it's the similar item has been sold previously on eBay, but they didn't get $30. Most of the sold comps for this might have been between $15 and $20. So then you know the market value really is more like $20 for that item. It's not the value of the list price, but the sold price. So you always have to look at the sold on eBay to determine the value of your item. Now, if you can't find the item on eBay or you want to quickly source some other free websites to look at, you can just take a shot in Google Lens. So when you go into Google, there's a little camera on the right. You just click that and the camera will pop up on your phone, and you just take a picture of the item, and Google will search images similar to the specific item. And some eBay listings may come up, listings on Poshmark, Etsy, other sites will come up with similar items to what you have photographed and put into the Google Lens. Now, those aren't sold listings, but you can click on those websites and see if they have sold listings available. And if you find that item on eBay, then you can definitely filter by sold. So that is a quick and easy way that you can, while you're in the thrift store, you can pull out your phone, you can take a picture of it or search it on eBay to look at the sold value, and so that you know, am I overpaying for this or not? And then if you think it's worth it, you can buy that item, and you know that you're getting a good deal. Now, if you love something, I say if you love it, buy it anyway, because there's sentimental value to these things as well. Another thing is, when you're buying an item on eBay, you are also paying shipping, and you've never seen the item physically in person. So for example, this item was on eBay. I could easily have bought it on eBay actually for a little cheaper, because I kind of overpaid for this. Well, just to tell you now, I did get this at the estate sale, and this was, let's see, what did I pay for this? It was $36, and it's really only worth between $15 and $30. But on eBay, I only see photos of the item, and I have to pay for shipping, which is going to bring the cost up probably to closer to what I actually paid for it. And then also, when I'm buying something like this in person, I see the actual condition. There's a little, it's not really a crack, but there's a little line on the inside. I can see that and I can feel it. Is it going to turn into a crack? Is it a problem? If it's being shipped, that may break. So when I'm buying, I'd much rather buy something in person where I can physically inspect the actual condition of the item than buying it on eBay. On eBay, when you're buying, it's also good to go with trusted sellers and look at their ratings, because then you know that their products are probably going to come in the condition that they're photographed, and they're going to actually look good when you receive them. Okay, so those are a few ways that I determine the value of what I buy. So now I thought I would show you sort of the things that I bought at this estate sale and what I paid for them, and then what the actual value is. So I went to this particular estate sale because I saw on the website advertising the estate sale some photos, and they had all of this blue transferware, which I'm collecting because I want to get an Airbnb cottage, and I want it to decorate it in blue with a lot of blue and white transferware and roses and things like that. So I knew that I had to go try to pick up some of this transferware. I specifically wanted to get this picture that I keep holding up because I just thought it was so cute. I actually thought it was bigger, like a full-size picture, and I thought it'd be really cute, like with some flower arrangements in it. And so this was the reason I went to go get this. So even though I overpaid, because I did look up the price later, I still got this because to me it was worth it. This is why I went to the estate sale. So this was the first piece that I picked up, and this is what I was looking for. So I did get it, even though I overpaid at $36. And that is pretty pricey for me, even at an estate sale. Usually I like to get things on the lower end. And again, this could be worth between $20 and $30. All right, so this is a different pattern, but everything else that I bought is in the blue willow pattern. So I got this little coffee container, which I thought would be really cute at the Airbnb to put coffee in, coffee grounds for people to use. And I paid $8 for this. And this, the sold comps, the sold comparables, the actual market value of this would be between $20 and $35 based on the sales that I saw on eBay. Okay, I also got this little salt canister. It's in really good condition. It has the wood lid, which is in really good shape, and it's functional. A lot of times you find these little salt containers and they don't have the lid. And that's really handy. It keeps the salt clean, keeps the dust out of there. Maybe in the olden days, other things, bugs, mice, I don't know what they had. Anyway, so it's intact. I bought it for $12 and the actual market value is $25. So I did pretty good on that. I got this little salt and pepper with the tray. I don't think it was originally manufactured with the tray. They just had it kind of staged that way, and then they sold the whole thing together for $4. The value of this without the tray, because it's two separate pieces really, but just the salt and pepper shakers are worth about $25. Okay, moving on. I got these oil and vinegar containers also, and they have the lids. They were $6. I've seen these before without the lids, so with the lids, they're definitely more valuable. These are worth $30 each, and without the lid, they're only worth about $10. I paid $6. So did all right there. I also bought this for $3. That's probably about the value of it. I just thought it was cute, and it's, you know, blue and white, and it matches my other stuff, but, you know, no major profit margin on that one. I also got this willow pattern oil lamp. It's got all the parts and the glass insert, and I paid $16, and this is worth about $75. So did pretty good on that one. All right, I don't remember what I paid for these. I got a set of these 6 tumblers. They're worth anywhere between $6 and $35 each. And if you get a whole set, they're worth more. I'd say roughly about $50. I think I paid maybe $4 for the set of 6 of these. All right, I also bought these 2 glass bird, actually they're pottery figurines. This one is the yellow warbler, and this one is the blue nuthatch. They're by Stengel Pottery. They are marked on the bottom, so you know what you're getting. And these are fairly common ones. They're worth about $20 to $35 each. I paid $6 each. I kind of feel like my grandma, like, am I turning into an old lady now collecting little birds? But I think these are so cute, especially if you're staging, just tuck it in near like a vase full of flowers, or, you know, maybe like in a little, I have one outside on my terrace with a clay pot and a candle, so on a tray. So I kind of like, you know, like to sneak these little decorative items in there together. But these birds, especially if you find one of the more rare ones, can be worth up to $2,400 for just one. So if you see these, definitely look for the stamped Stengel on the bottom, and look these up on eBay because you may find one that's super valuable. All right. I also bought this little perfume bottle because I collect perfume bottles. I don't know the value of it, and it's probably not really worth much, but I thought I'd show it to you because that was part of this estate sale haul. All right, this is kind of special. I don't really know too much about the history of this. I paid $16 for it. It's probably worth about $30, but the reason why I think it's really special, it is stamped on the bottom. It's made in England. It is Sandland. Let's see, I don't have my glasses on. Hanley, Staffordshire, and it's made in England. It is kind of like a little toile scene, a little French scene, or maybe English scene. And I just thought it was really unique because I don't see these in yellow very often. You see a lot of blue and white, or the reddish pink and white transferware, black and white, multicolor, but I really never have seen yellow. So I thought this was kind of cool, and you know, definitely a little bit of profit margin there. All right, this may have been my best find of the day. This is a Nippon hat pin holder, and this is worth anywhere from $50 to $100. I paid $2 for this. So Nippon is always marked on the bottom, and when it has the M in the wreath, that is for Muramura Brothers, and that is one of the Nippon designers. Okay, almost forgot about these Bisque Napco Lefton busts. I have a bigger set of these that are in porcelain on my living room table, and these are fairly common. I see them all the time, but these are Bisque made in Japan, and they have this little gold border around the bottom, which I think makes them special, and they're also smaller than the ones I normally see. So these are a little bit nicer. I paid $12 for both. These are worth about $48, and the porcelain ones are probably worth $20, maybe a little bit more than $20. All right, other things I got, a fishing hat, because when you wear a hat like this, it doesn't blow off in the wind of the boat. Just thought that was cute. I also got like a trench coat, and I think it was at that estate sale. I also got a trench coat and kind of like a Chanel jacket, but they're at the dry cleaner, so I couldn't show you those. Okay, I also got this print. I just thought it was interesting. They sort of threw it in with my discount because I was buying so much stuff. It was $48. I have no idea the value. If you're an art historian watching or you know anything about art or prints, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you know the value of this. But it was labeled 19th century. On the back, it says Merry Christmas from one person to another, 1939. I just thought the frame and the matting was really pretty. And the print is like an army scene, and based on the uniforms, we think it was the Spanish-American War. I don't want to take the frame apart. I don't know what that image inside is or what kind of a print it is, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. And this estate sale had a lot of military memorabilia there. They had collected a lot of military things, from uniforms to chests to artwork to all sorts of things. So if anybody knows anything about this, let me know. I'm curious. This estate sale also had tons of blue transferware, a lot more than what I bought. But I just bought like the key pieces that I thought were special. And another word on this stuff, I didn't look any of this up before I bought it. I knew the prices at, $4 for a salt and pepper shaker or a few dollars for a salt mill or whatever. Was what I was willing to pay. So I think you ultimately have to look, depending, if you're a reseller, it's different, then you need to make a profit margin. If you just want to be a wise consumer, you just don't want to overpay for something, and you definitely don't want to pay more than what you could buy it on eBay for. If you love something, get it. If it's going to fit in with your decor style, if it's going to make you happy, whether it's with antiques or art or furniture, anything, I always say, just get it. And if you don't mind spending what the price is, just get it. If you love it, you're not going to regret it. So those are my tips for estate sales. I also wanted to show you another thing that my son got at an antique store. This is a vintage map, comes from an atlas. He'd been asking me when I was going thrifting and estate selling to keep an eye out for a map for him, and he actually spotted this. I dragged him into a antique store that was 2 doors down from a bakery I was taking him to. So I dragged him in, and he found this antique map of the United States. I think it's from the late 1800s, and I had him look up the sold comps on eBay. It was listed for sale for over $100, and he looked up the comps and figured it was probably worth, pretty close to that value, actually, between 75 and 100. So he negotiated with the shop owner. He ended up paying $60 for it, which I think was a great deal because it's framed. But he negotiated to get less because he said he'd have to reframe it. The matting is damaged. We at the time, didn't know if it was authentic because the authenticity can sometimes be seen on the actual print or on the back of it. But I think that this is authentic based on the research we've done. And what we determined, so the shopkeeper let him have it for less because the matting was ruined and there's a stain on it. And when we got home, we realized it's on the glass. So this actually comes off. And so it's actually decently framed, although I'm not in love with the frame. It doesn't need to be reframed, and it doesn't look dirty. It doesn't have a stain on it once we wash this off. I left it just so you could see that, that's what it was a negotiating point, and the shop owner didn't try cleaning it off herself. So, she sold an item. She probably still made a profit. We got a good deal on something that he really likes. And he told me this is now his favorite antique store, not just because of the map, but it is a very eclectic, cool, and interesting antique store. They do a lot of movie sets, and they loan a lot of their things because they have so many cool period pieces, costumes, uniforms, clothing, typewriters, furniture, all sorts of stuff. He just thinks it's like the coolest antique store in Chicago. So if you want me to do a video tour of the coolest antique store in Chicago, drop a comment below and let me know, because I'd love to show you that antique store if you're interested. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you learned something new, and I will definitely be sharing more estate sale hauls with you in the future. Remember always to do something to help you create a home and a life you love. Cheers. Ciao for now.